All right, how are you doing, boys? This topic is really an important one, and I know I always say that in almost every video because I don't make videos in like rubbish topics. I only make videos like in important topics so that I can help you guys. But this video's title is going to be something of the sorts of why I used to do 3 to 4 sets or 10 to 12 reps, and why I'm doing 2 sets till failure right now. Like that sentence, and I'm not going to try and sound like super intelligent by like over explaining. What I'm going to do is like, okay, so let me just tell you this. That sentence has really nuanced information, right? I didn't just say it, just to make a cool title. Hey, I used to do this, now I'm doing right now why I did. No, I'm going to tell you exactly why I used to do that, and there's pros and cons, right? Like there is pros and cons when I used to do 3 to 4 sets of maybe 10 to 12 reps, and why I stopped doing that right now, like the stage that I am in right now, and what's the pros and cons of that. So yeah, I mean every single part of the sentence has a little nuanced information that you need to know in order for you to basically make a change in your working sets, make a change in the amount of repetitions that you're doing right now. Here's the thing. When I started, right, I didn't have a single clue about the gym. So it's kind of like a story how I got started with 3 to 4 sets, right? And in order for you to know more, make sure to watch the video in its entirety. I'm pretty sure that you're not expecting like what I'm going to say. Like you're not expecting the kind of information that I'm about to share. It's kind of like you've never heard before. So, because all of these people in the internet is kind of like preaching two cecil failure, right? And it's kind of true because that's what I'm doing right now. But there's like very nuanced information that you need to know. So, okay, without further ado, let's get into the story. When I got started in my lifting career, I knew nothing about the gym, absolutely nothing about the gym. All I knew was how to do push-ups and pull-ups, right? Because those are easy body movements that you could do like pretty much anywhere. Like push-ups you can do at home, and I used to like do pull-ups in the terrace of my home. That's pretty much what I knew about exercising, right? And when I got started in the gym, I was really fortunate enough to have a really good mentor, to have a really good personal trainer, and I trained under him, right? And the reason I say I was fortunate enough to have a really good personal trainer is because he understood what kind of training I needed, right? So like I said, I never have I at this point I never had any experience with weight training. Like I didn't know how to handle weights. All I knew was to do push-ups and pull-ups, right? So when I entered the gym, I was asked like, "Hey man, like, what's your goal?" And I said, "My goal is to, six-pack abs, like pretty big muscles, want to get tall. Hey man, am I gonna get shorter if I like train heavy?" This is one of the misconceptions I had at that time. I asked my trainer about that, but he said, "No man, it's gonna be like you're just gonna be just fine as long as your diet is on point and you don't injure yourself, just like that." So yeah, I started training, and he started to train me like he started to advise me, dude, train, like maybe do 2 warm-ups, and after that do 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps on every exercise. Now let me explain it. Like I said, the only experience that I had at that time with exercising is push-ups and pull-ups. I didn't know anything about weight training. And I'm talking about when I started the gym. I started the gym when I was 17 years old, right? So yeah, what you need to understand is that pretty much on every exercise, my form was shit. My form was shit. My mind and muscle connection was shit. And pretty much on every exercise, I couldn't get the grasp of it, like, how to do that exercise like properly, how to engage the target muscles that you're thinking about targeting. If you're doing bicep curls, how to engage your short head, long head. I mean, forget about short head, long head. I didn't even know how to engage my bicep properly, right? My forearms were getting tired, my front delt were getting tired, right? And also, there were some exercises that I got the hang of it just like this. for example, the bench press, because like I said, I already was doing some like, good, really like a really good amount of push-ups. So I knew how to engage my chest, right? So I got the hang of it, like bench press and dumbbell press, just like that, right? No, not dumbbell press, like, but incline bench press and flat bench press. No problem with that. So when I was doing that, and my like one of the shittiest form that I had was like I had was on side laterals. I still don't think that I have the picture perfect form of side laterals. Like pretty much, like it's way better than I used to do, but now it's really good. So what you have to understand now here, like, putting yourself into my shoes, or, if you are someone who is an intermediate or like an advanced level lifter, or if you are someone who is a beginner that's watching this video, then you don't have to put it in my shoes. You're already in my shoes at that time. What you have to understand is that in order for you to achieve that picture perfect form, in order for you to like achieve that like elite level mind muscle connection, in order for you to achieve like that level of clarity where you are only engaging the muscles that you are, like thinking about targeting with that exercise, in order for you to achieve these, or like all these things, you have to do what? Obviously you got to do more practice. You have to practice more, right? And that's what is like stopping you from like doing an exercise with shitty form, doing the exercise with picture perfect form after years of training, right? I pretty much got the picture perfect form, not the picture perfect form, but like a really good form in bench press within 6 months, right? And I kept correcting my form on side laterals years after years after years, right? So you can think like, how much it is based on the amount of practice that you put in. And you're never going to be able to achieve that good form, that good mind muscle connection, if you just stick to the nonsense that others are saying. Hey man, just stick to 2 sets till failure, right? It's kind of like hypocrite for me to say, right? Like that's what you're thinking, this part of the video, that hey man, you're doing 2 sets till failure, why can't I do that? It's because if you're watching this video and if you're a beginner, you're fucking beginner. You don't have the like muscle memory that I have. You don't have that experience that I have. You don't have that elite level mind muscle connection, the amount of practice under your belt that I have, right? I know what a picture perfect form looks like and how to achieve it, because I know all of the mistakes that I have committed in the past, right? I know like what a picture perfect form should not look like in every like shape or form, right? It should not look like this. It would be something like a front raise. It like, should not be like this, because you're not a fucking bird. You're like you're not trying to, fly. It should not be like this, like, like your arms are moving too forward. It should be like 45-degree angle with your like elbows, like the only two joints that should be working is your shoulder joint and your elbow joint, right? If you involve like this joint, then the weight they like will be distributed, and you wouldn't feel too much of a tension in your side laterals. So just focus on raising your elbow, hold the weight in your arm, and just like, raise your elbow with your shoulders tucked in, do like this. You will feel a massive stretch in your side laterals. Like I said, I know how to basically correct my form because I have done the wrong forms all this time. So I know what a bad form looks like, right? So this is really the advice. If you are a beginner, if you're intermediate level lifter, stick to like 3 or 4 sets, right? Absolutely no problem with that. Practice that movement, be a master of it, right? Then when you think like, then when you think that 2 sets is all you need, because within that 2 sets you're not wasting any reps. Like every single reps that you do is kind of conducive to you building more muscle, and conducive to you getting more fatigue after that individual sets, right? Like every single set you do is like tearing down some muscle, some form of muscle, right? If you reach that level, of course you don't need to like do 3 or 4 sets, right? That would be overtraining. But when you are a beginner, you absolutely need to do 3 or 4 sets. That's why I said every single part of the sentence contains some sort of nuanced information. I used to do 3 or 4 sets. Now I don't do like 3 or 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps. All I do right now is maybe even lesser exercise, 2 warm-ups and 2 sets till failure, like 2 working sets till failure, absolute failure. Like, I cannot do one more rep. That's the like training philosophy that I follow right now, because I think if I train 3 or 4 sets with 10 to 12 rep, right, I'll like probably overtrain myself and I wouldn't be able to recover. It's not probably, like, I have done it, right? I mean, like, there have been times, because, like, as you probably know, like, the way I speak, I'm kind of addicted to training and I really like training. That's why I am thinking about helping others with this YouTube channel. But if I had to train, like, I'm the question that I would ask myself, and maybe all of you would ask me, is, would you change anything the way you trained at the beginning stage of your lifting career? I would say absolutely no. Absolutely no. Because I know if I follow the advice of, like, mainstream media right now, who is saying, you do the overtraining, dude, you're like, you wouldn't be able to recover too much, dude, you're wasting your time doing 3 to 4 sets, I would never be able to, like, I would have never be able to achieve the excellence in exercises with the picture perfect form, with the picture perfect mind muscle connection that I have right now, if I did in only 2 sets till failure, right? And yeah, like, that's basically the advice. And I didn't go through what sets, what's the reputation that you should be doing based on your lifting career, like, at the stage, because I've already covered multiple times in my YouTube channel. If you want to take a look at that, please be my guest. You would have, like, an autistic detailed explanation about, based on where you are at your lifting career, what kind of sets, what kind of repetition that you should be looking forward to. And yeah, that's why I said every single part of the sentence has some nuanced information. So that's what I did, right? And that's what has helped me to build a mind muscle connection. That's what has helped me to build a picture perfect form. And since I don't need it, like, that much volume, I just do, like, 2 sets till failure. That's all I do. And if you have made this much into the video, make sure you comment what you liked in this video, what you think I should have added in this video. And if you have any questions, make sure you comment down below, and I'll make sure to make a video about it if I've already not made a video about it. But I think I've made a video, like, a guy explained, like, this much text, and I want something that from you, because the more, like, information, the more nuanced details that you give me, the more helpful it will be for me to make a video, and also the other guys that will be watching the video that might be in the same boat as you, right? So yeah, looking forward to meet you again in the next time, in the next video. Yeah, peace.